Yesterday, we heard the news that Highguard was going to be shut down in just a few days on March 12th. It didn't seem like these developers were able to create a product that captured people's attention for the positive, and there was a lot of negativity surrounding this experience because it's like they did every single thing wrong, but now we are seeing a lot of coping and a lot of seething happening. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we were blamed for this game's failure. Oh, you guys didn't give it a chance, you didn't give it a shot, you just want games to fail. And that definitely isn't the case. A lot of people played it. Over 100,000 concurrent on day one were willing to jump into the experience, and it just was very bad. And sure, I think it's funny when games fail because developers completely misunderstand or ignore what it is that their customers want, and they were too busy creating a game that they wanted instead of what was actually going to make them money. But ultimately, I would love if every single game was a massive success. I would love if every game that started coming out was a 10 out of 10 and nobody felt scammed, nobody felt disappointed, everybody was really getting what they wanted. But it shouldn't be our fault that the modern audience didn't show up to support this new, stunning, and brave experience. I've even seen some of these shills seething and saying, oh, what happened to like you guys supporting Stop Killing Games? Why are you supporting and laughing at a game like this dying? And sure, my stance has been consistent. Just because you created something doesn't mean you deserve our money or we should be required to monetarily support you. But I also think that they should allow the option for people to create their own custom servers and host custom servers. It's just that simple. So when this news broke yesterday, I did a video on it. It'll be linked down below, but it says that they have made the decision to permanently shut down Highguard on March 12th. Since launch, more than 2 million players stepped into the world. You shared feedback, created content, and many believed in what we were building. For that, we are deeply grateful. And they basically just say that they're excited to release one final update with a new warden, new weapon, and account level progression, plus skill trees. I don't know why they decided to wait until now and why they didn't launch all of this weeks ago. Maybe it would have brought some more players back, but I guess they just figured, meh, it's going to die anyway. We don't really have to worry about these consistent updates. But what's interesting is that the Highguard boss had only said a few weeks ago that it didn't matter how many people played the game, only that the game was loved by many people who played it, which is not the truth, clearly, given it is dead now. And sure, when you see it going from 97,000 players to 450, that is a big disaster. You had people that initially jumped into your experience, didn't like it, and a month and a half later, this is the best you can get. Yeah, it is a nightmare for them. There was really no way to save it, but at the same time, gamers do not have to support you, and it's something that a lot of people in the industry don't understand now. It's like they think if they say they're, oh, this independent team who's making a game, which by the way, that was a complete and utter lie, and they say that they're passionate, that people are going to line up to support you, and then when that doesn't happen, it is a massive problem for them. They lash out, they get angry, they make posts blaming everybody but themselves for the failure, and that is what we have seen happening. But now that the game is officially dead, hey, it lasted longer than Concord, we are seeing a lot of people coping and seething over this, saying it's totally unfair and people should have given it a shot. We did. PC Gamer put up this article titled "Rip Highguard, in a better world, an FPS is allowed to be unpopular." They could have kept the servers up for years and years and years, and that would have been okay. I wouldn't have said, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous that they're keeping the servers online. No, but they didn't do that because ultimately we're talking about a company that needs to make money. In my opinion, in a better world, Highguard just wouldn't have been so shit. That is really what you should be rallying for, is better games. And again, a game can be unpopular, and sometimes unpopular products can find success simply because there are people who dislike it. But that wasn't the case here. On the announcement post, there were a lot of memes being shared, like the fries in the bag image. I had showed the Steam DB charts, but then there are people who are just saying, how could this happen? Highguard flopping is absolutely ridiculous. The game was so fun and offered such a unique team fighting ability based game, and I'm honestly shocked that it's gone. Here we have Please No. Why? Only 2 months, really? Why not support this game for at least 6 months? Why prioritize immediate profit over patience in building a strong community like R6S, No Man's Sky, Warframe, and so many others? If you celebrate this game dying, then you're a loser. End of discussion. The launch game wasn't for me since it was missing stuff, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted it to fail. I was hopeful that they'd continue to work on it until it became something that I'd want to come back to. So they're basically saying, aha, yes, I abandoned this game, but I still want you to shell out money to keep it alive in case I ever feel like I want to go back to it. Why would you even post this, man? This is just sad. I may not have liked the game, but I respect the craft. And I say it all the time, every single game deserves to exist. I think it is fine if you want to create a Dustborn or a Highguard or a Flintlock the Siege of Dawn or Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League or a Concord. I don't have to like every single game, but when you have development teams who attack potential customers and blame everybody for their failure but themselves, and they do create a bad product, I'm still going to call you out for it, and I'm still going to criticize you for it. I'm not saying it can't exist, but man, oh man, am I going to point and laugh at it if it's bad. I truly feel bad for the devs, especially those who tried steering development in the right direction. What a shame. And sure, there are bound to be a few good apples in this bunch, a few people who joined this team because they were passionate, because they were dedicated to their craft, because they were very excited for the future of an experience like this in a competitive scene. But they still have to go down with the ship, and if the game is still bad, which it was, I can't just like let them off the hook and say, oh, they don't deserve any of the criticism. They still helped in some part for this failure's failure. I feel so bad for the devs. That's a tough market to break into, and with time it might have gotten better, but I think Tencent saw the fall off and just pull the plug. I feel so bad for the devs, since clearly the leadership and PR team are gonna leave this shitstorm spotless when all of this is on them. Such a shame. I really liked it. Jesus, it was never my type of game, but that's really unfortunate for all the players that actually enjoyed it. Well, again, clearly a lot of players didn't enjoy it because it went from 97K to 450. There are developers out there who would kill for having almost 100,000 people test their game. It is just as simple as it sucked. And well, when you create something bad, you deserve to be criticized for it. So it will be interesting to see over the next few days what information comes out about this development cycle and the process. And I know that the Highguard boss had come out and released this big thread about some of the stats and how they had slightly over 2 million players worldwide tried the game. And he ends it by saying that he's not able to tell the full story, but there was a lot that was happening behind the scenes. I just wonder if he is farming for a little bit of attention. Maybe he does actually have information he will one day release, but either way, I am certain that there are going to be some disgruntled developers who release some info about this experience and what happened. Wouldn't surprise me if the media start launching attacks on us for not liking this game, but only time will tell. Though that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.